Hello, Dark Moon Doll here. So I want to answer a question for Freeform Dreadlock Talk that a viewer subscriber asked me if in its reply, or actually a comment on a video I recently did about some questions that I answered about Freeform Dreadlocks recently regarding whether or not you can wash your hair every day. Some other questions about like if I let my hair freeform, will it look like yours? And other questions like that. So that was posed. This comment that I'm going to read to you is a question that was asked by someone who is semi-freeforming. So let me grab the question. Here's the question. I get a lot of fuzz balls that will sometimes fall out in the shower. Is it a normal process, or do I have damaged hair? I also want to add that I have had salon lock dreadlocks, but I cut my hair just to start freeforms. So fuzz balls. When you speak of fuzz balls, you may be referring to the new growth that forms. Like this is like a fuzz ball, right? You see that? How it's kind of just looks like it's barely attached to another clump of hair. Yes, I get those, and that's when I get new growth. When new growth starts to form, that's when I get those. And mine don't fall out in the shower, and I think it has to do with the fact that I'm not using a lot of products on my dreads. So my dreads have been really strong. Even the little balls and stuff that dangle off, they haven't been falling off of my dread. Like right here, that's not really a ball, but it's just like a little, looks like a little horn on there. Trying to see if I can find one with that, an example of that. Yeah, I don't really have anything like that. The closest I have is in the back of my head, which is the little fuzz balls that are dangling off the ends of the new growth that's in the back of my head. And that's how. And let me see if I could take my scarf off and show you. See, because I do get those here and there, but that's when I get new growth. Let's see. See if I can find any others. Yeah, here we go. This is probably what you're referring to about fuzzball. Right here. And that's basically forming from the new growth, and whatever little hairs that grab on to the new growth. Sometimes you'll get those little tiny fuzz balls. Sometimes they just pop off, and then you can just, if it comes off, I flush it down the toilet so it doesn't clog the drain. No, I mean, it's not like it's clumps and clumps of hair. If you think about it, when you have dreadlocks, you don't comb your hair. So all the hair that would have been in a comb is now combined into a dreadlock. So if you lose little bits of hair here and there, that's nothing in comparison to somebody who combs their hair every day. When people comb their hair every day, they take out a lot of hair off of their head. So basically, I think that's what it is. It's the new growth. Some of it can be new growth. See that? Because when new growth grows in and you don't twist it like they suggest that you do at a salon, then it's left to its own devices. So what do I do about that? This hair in the back, I don't pull it back tight or do any constricting hairstyles for that reason, because I'm constantly having new growth growing in. So in order to take care of my hair so that none of the hairs, those precious little hairs that are just forming into locks, falls out, I do as little as possible to my hair. I put it in a scarf. I put it in a style that's not really tight and constricting. I don't dye my hair. I don't put a bunch of products on my hair. And my washing routine is simple when I cleanse my dreads. Lately, what I've decided to incorporate within my cleaning or cleansing of my hair, my dreads, is rice water. I started using that, and it seems to be working really nicely for me. But other than that, I keep things simple. And those little fuzz balls, that's all that is. It's probably new growth. I get those. See that? That's a fuzz ball there. It's just new growth. Just leave it alone. Leave your hair alone, it'll be fine. If you keep your hair up and out of the way, then it'll be fine. When you say freeform, semi-freeforming, I can't relate to that. I'm not semi-freeforming. I'm freeforming all the way. I did a video about what is semi-freeforming. I can't really relate to that. Because freeforming to me means no manipulation. I mean, the only thing I do to manipulate can be seen as manipulating my hair is by putting it back in a scarf like that, or putting it in a scrunchie or whatever. That's pretty much just keeping it protected and out of the way for the most part. So that's all I could think of that those fuzz balls are. They're just new growth or whatever, or if they're just little fuzzy pieces of hair. Because you said you used to have get your hair done in a salon. So I was thinking maybe it's just stray hairs from that, and your hair adjusting to it not being twisted at the roots and maintained, and it's just doing its own thing and being as wild as it wants to be. And that's probably what your hair is doing right now, you know what I mean? Yeah, I've got a lot of new growth in the back of my head, in between my dreads too. So in between there you can find little tiny balls of hair, and if some of the little tiny balls fall out, whatever, it's just a tiny little ball of hair, and it doesn't want to be doesn't want to be on your head anymore. It doesn't mean if your hair is coming out in chunks, then I would really be concerned. If it's coming out massively and you've got bald patches, then I would be really concerned. But other than that, if you send me some photos or put photos up, then I can get a better idea of what's going on. But that's probably what you're talking about, is just little tiny, now I can't find any on my head, little tiny, bits of hair that seems like it's kind of hanging in there, but not. But surprisingly enough, with the treatments that I do on my hair, even those little tiny bits that I have on my hair, my dreads every now and then, they've become stronger and they haven't breaking off. So just keep your hair protected, keep your hair healthy by being simple, and I wouldn't worry too much. Just don't use a bunch of products that are unnatural. Try to use stuff that's natural to cleanse your hair with. Like for me, when I cleanse my dreads, I like to use baking soda and water. Put that on my hair for 30 minutes, then rinse it, and then I use vinegar and water, let that set on my hair for 5 to 8 minutes, and then rinse it, and then probably do an herbal tea rinse on it with either coffee, tea, black tea, or rosemary, or spearmint, whatever type of herb that I have available, to add extra moisture and conditioning to my dreads. So that's all I can say about that. The name of the subscriber's name, Joseph Page. Thank you for your comment. Thank you for the rest of the comment that you left too. I didn't read the whole comment. I hope this helps you in any way. I wouldn't panic too much about it. You can show me pictures, send me pictures through email, and I have my email address in the description below. So thank you for joining me this evening. I hope this helps everyone out there, and to see that it's very simple to take care of your dreadlocks. You just have to keep things simple. Your freeform dreadlocks. I'm not semi-freeforming. I'm freeforming completely. I'm not separating my locks, and I'm not. Maybe that's why I don't notice a lot of those little balls and things like that on my dreads, because I'm not separating them. And maybe that's what semi-freeform is separating them. So everybody has their own definition of things. For me, freeform means no manipulation, as much as you can, and to keep things simple. So, alrighty guys, thanks for joining me. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for the likes and shares, and thank you for your kind comments. Leave your comments down below and let me know how your freeform dreadlock journey is going, and if you experience those little tiny balls, fuzz balls, that Joseph Page is talking about. I know what you're talking about, and I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, if they're loose and everything and all that, I wouldn't worry too much about it. I would just leave them alone and see what happens. I mean, unless they're on the verge of hanging on by a string, because I've seen I don't even have the book over here. Well, anyway, if you guys have the book called Dreads, it's a big book, black and white photos, very popular book when it came out. Anyway, if you look at a lot of the Rastafari photos, you'll see that they have little balls of hair coming off their dreads. See, that's what you're probably talking about, stuff hanging off. If you don't mess with it and touch it, what it does is eventually blend. It just kind of attaches onto the other dread right next to it. So just leave it alone. If it's bothering you that much, put it up and away, and then you don't look at it. And before you know it, that little tiny fuzz ball will be incorporated into the rest of your dreads. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't trip on it too much, but send me a photo so I can see better what you're talking about, because what you're talking about may not be what I'm talking about. So, drinking some iced tea. Well, it did have ice in it. It's spearmint tea. Alrighty, guys. Keep things simple, and don't worry about all these little things. They're just little things that you don't have to think about. When you have freeform dreadlocks, it's supposed to be worry-free. So keep it simple. Alrighty, guys. Brightest blessings to y'all, and I'll see you soon.